What is up, guys? We are live on YouTube for the first time in, probably 6 months. I've been posting more, and so I figured get this platform going in terms of live content too, and see what you guys like. But I wanted to really just go live today to talk about diet culture, because it's every single day. I feel like there's a new thing that I see online. When someone's looking for an answer to a question, someone's looking for a solution, and it's surrounded by just so much misinformation that it's hard to actually figure out what is true and what is someone's opinion. Someone's opinion that usually comes from like a hurt place. Because diet culture, nutrition, health, and fitness, unfortunately, it's very common to have a story like that. It's a without the right guidance, it can be a very painful place to live, because, Joe over here says one thing, Jane over here says another thing, and it's stressful. It's stressful. But today I was just looking up some information about, where are my words here? I was looking up information for my kid. She's 1.5 years old. I was looking up like nutrition, like goals, because I know like what my goals are and like how much I should be eating and the kind of quality I should be eating. But I didn't know exactly that number for my kid. And it's not the most important number in the world. Eat till they're satiated and they should be good to go. I'm not ever too worried about hitting a certain macronutrient for my kid. I'm just going to let her experiment, enjoy some food, figure out her taste, that kind of thing. But I was just curious, like it just piqued my curiosity. So I looked it up, and we found information ranging from just like the importance of carbohydrates alone, and like if carbohydrates are important and how many carbohydrates someone should be eating, and the amount of answers that were just along the lines of, oh, you don't need carbs at all. Like you need essential amino acids, you need essential fatty acids, but you don't need carbs. You don't need carbs. And there are so many answers along the lines of as minimal as possible, as few as possible. You don't want any carbs in your diet because it's associated in Western culture with fat, being obese, being overweight, being out of shape. Carbohydrates are associated and considered the villain for those things. And diet culture just supports that over and over and over again. Fit culture and diet culture tend to be two different things. And diet culture tends to restrict carbohydrate intake. And I just wanted to come on here for a little bit and talk about why that's just not true. Why carbohydrates are really good for you, why they're your friend. I was doing some research, and breast milk is primarily carbohydrates. It's primarily carbohydrates, about 60% carbs, about 30% fat, and about 10% protein. That's how it breaks down. So from day one, you're taking in a majority of carbohydrates. So at what point is that supposed to change? At what point does that switch? Now, when we talk about macronutrient breakdowns a lot as like nutrition coaches, very many nutrition coaches will go back to the idea of like different cultures, different societies, different ways of eating. So like an Eastern diet will be heavy in fats and protein and very low in carbohydrates, typically. A Middle Eastern diet will follow those lines. And if you go just a little bit further south in the East, you're going to have more carbohydrates in your diet. If you go west, obviously we're carbohydrate heavy over here. But it varies from culture to culture. And from days long ago, there's a lot of arguments for like carnivore diet and ketosis, because that's how we had to exist in some instances and create energy for ourselves. But that energy, though it looks really cool, and please listen to these keywords, it's very sellable. Carnivore, ketosis, it's a solution that seems so sellable and so attainable. Like, oh, your results are just 2 or 3 weeks away. You're just not eating the right way we were designed to eat, blah, 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 blah. And we've gone through so many different states of culture, different diets as a human species. There's not one right one. Our body has the ability to metabolically adapt. Our body has the ability to turn fat into energy. The process is grueling for a lot of people, but the body can get there. The body can turn protein into energy. So fat into energy, that's called ketosis. Protein into energy, that's called gluconeogenesis. These are processes the body has to go through that can transition from carbohydrates as energy to fats or proteins. And it's a grueling process. If you stay in a state of keto or gluconeogenesis, odds are you're going to be feeling draggy. You're going to be feeling sick. It's not how our bodies were designed to stay forever. Eventually, your body goes catabolic and starts eating itself, literally, to fuel yourself. So just eating proteins and fats is one way, but it's not sustainable. It just isn't. And I know the word not sustainable is such a fun word to talk about in diet culture. This way is not sustainable, so don't do it. That's not sustainable, so don't do it. Your diet in our society, in Western culture, is going to go through ebbs and flows, different goals, different priorities, different uses of energy, things like that. It's not going to stick to one thing very long. I've been cutting for 5 months now. So I've been in a caloric deficit for 5 months. I feel great. My strength still feels great, but I promise you, I can't live in this state for a very long time, 3 or 4 more months. And I will probably, my body's going to start fighting me with cravings. It's going to start pulling for more food because I'm undernourishing and under recovering it. So it has the ability, the God-given ability, to metabolically adapt to another need, to another fuel source, or to another requirement. Our body is beautiful like that. It is an intricate system that isn't solved with one diet or the other, but one diet or the other is a super sellable thing. So I get passionate about this. Instead of feeling like you need to eat a certain way, instead of feeling like this solution or that solution, think of yourself as a unique human being. You are not going to be able to solve your problem with one diet. You're not going to be able to solve your problem with one routine. You're not going to be able to solve your problem by taking this Band-Aid solution that some random coach is selling you online for the next 30 days and find six-pack abs and live the rest of your life that way. That's not how this works. This is a journey. And you need to surround yourself not only with people who can support your long-term goals, but also clarity and understanding that you are a unique individual. And one Band-Aid solution of a diet is not going to get you to your end goal, no matter what it feels like. Eating the right quantity is very, very important to get to your right goal, get to the goal that you want to achieve. And things like carbohydrates should not be villainized for that kind of thing because it's easily accessible to us in this culture. So let's embrace the fact that it's easily accessible to us in this culture and keep them in rotation. Your body loves using carbohydrates as energy. Let's not restrict it. It has 3 metabolic pathways that it uses to burn energy, and 2 of them use carbohydrates primarily. One of them, the oxidative pathway, will use fats, but at one point we'll switch back to using carbohydrates. It loves using carbs for energy. Don't prevent it and don't minimize it. Understand your energy output and fuel as needed. I just needed to put it out there, guys. I needed to get that off my chest because it is what it is. It is what it is. It's diet culture today. Can't ignore it. It's very much a part of our culture. And there's a lack of accountability to the coaches who sell these programs. There's a lack of accountability to diet culture as a whole. And there's a lack of information, true, valuable information out there that how our bodies respond to nutrition. It's, as much as I'd love to say, oh, these trends, these sexy trends, these trends that are going viral on Instagram or TikTok and how you can hit these goals, I would love to tell you that they are the solution. It can be both really cool, really easy, 30 days, and then boom, you're done. But that's never how it's worked. It's just really good to make a quick buck for those coaches. Moral of this live, love yourself. learn more about yourself, learn more about your energy output, and learn more about your energy needs. And don't starve yourself. Just stay consistent to supply your body with what it needs. And I can almost guarantee it needs more than you think. You guys have a wonderful